Hello students, welcome to Sri classes, lecture number 5, chapter number 12, electricity. Today we are going to have the question answer sessions. Let us look at in-text questions. Please hold the textbook in front of you whenever I read the questions from the textbook, because these are in-text questions and exercise questions. So let us have a look at this questions put on page number 200 of your textbook, NCERT textbook. I think you are able to see that. Very quickly we'll rush through. What does an electric circuit mean? A closed continuous path for the flow of electric current is called an electric circuit. Define the unit of current. What is the unit of current? Ampere. So the question is define 1 ampere. I equals Q by T. The formula for current is I equals Q by T. That means a current through a conductor is said to be 1 ampere when 1 coulomb of charges flows across the conductor in 1 second. So I hope you are understanding how to define that. Calculate the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge. That I have already worked out in my regular classes, that you know already. Next question. Next is these are the questions on page number 202, in-text questions, page number 202. Name a device that helps to maintain a potential difference across a conductor. This is a simple question, but many times students have failed to answer this question despite the revision process, despite reading so much. Many students have failed to answer this question. Name a device that helps to maintain the potential difference across a conductor. The potential difference is voltage. Which supplies voltage in a circuit? Battery, or you can also say cell. So answer is cell or battery is a device that helps to maintain a potential difference across a conductor. What is meant by saying that potential difference between 2 points is 1 volt? The potential difference between 2 points is said to be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another point. I hope you are understanding. The question is define 1 volt here, potential difference. So the potential difference between the 2 points is said to be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another point. How did you define? V equals W by Q. Work done to move a unit charge from one point to another point is called this thing. So how much work is done there? 1 joule of work is done. To move how much? 1 coulomb of charge. So that is 1 volt. How much energy is given to each coulomb of charge passing through a 6 volt battery? So can we work out this one? Question is how much energy is to be given to each coulomb of charge passing through a 6 volt battery. So let us solve this one on a board. How much energy is given to a coulomb of charge? Given Q equals 1 coulomb, voltage equals 6 volts. How much energy is a question mark. V equals W by Q. Work done equals V into Q. 6 volts into 1, which equals 6 joules is the answer. Can I go to the next one now? Here, let us study these in-text questions. On what factors does the resistance of a conductor depend? Already you know this. Resistor depends upon the nature of material. It depends upon the length. Resistance is directly proportional to length. It depends upon cross-section area. Resistance is inversely proportional to cross-section area. And also, resistance depends upon temperature. Resistance increases with the increase in temperature of the conductor. Will the current flow more easily through a thick wire or a thin wire of the same material when connected to the same source, and why? The flow of the current can be compared to the flow of water. Thicker the tube, more water can flow. Similarly, thicker the wire size, resistance decreases. Why it is so? Resistance is inversely proportional to cross section area. So thicker the wire, more is the cross section area, lesser is the resistance, therefore more is the current flow. Hence current flows more through a thick wire compared to the thin wire. Third one, let the resistance of an electrical component remains constant while the potential difference across the two ends of a component decreases to half of its former value. What change will occur in the current through it? So let us see this one, third one. We will try to solve here. What it says, resistance of an electrical component remains constant, R is equal to constant, while the potential difference across the two ends of the component decreases to half its former value. What change will occur in the current through it? See, V equals I into R. So R remains constant. That is the question asked, question given. Now, so I can say here I is equal to V by R. R is a constant. Now the question asked here is, if the potential difference is reduced to half, what is the current? Let us see here. Okay, if the potential difference is reduced to half, what happens? V equals V by 2. So therefore, I dash equals V by 2 divided by R, which equals V by 2R, which equals half of V by R. Earlier current was V by R, now I dash equals 1 by 2R. That means if the potential difference is reduced to half by keeping the resistance constant, the current decreases to half the original value. I hope you have understood this one. Next. Why are the coils of electric toasters and electric irons made of an alloy rather than a pure metal? This I have answered very clearly during my session. Why are the coils of electric toasters and electric irons are made of an alloy than pure metals? Two reasons. The resistivity of alloys is higher than the constituting metals. First point. Second thing, alloys do not oxidize easily at higher temperatures. These are the two reasons for which the alloys are used in electric toasters or heaters for the manufacturing of the coils. Next, use the data in the table 12.2 to answer the following questions. Which among the iron and mercury is a better conductor? You refer to 12.2. Based on the value of the resistivity, you will be able to yourself answer. Which material is the best conductor? The resistivity of the silver, if you look at, that is the least resistive material, or the resistivity of the silver is least. Hence, silver is the best conductor. Okay. So let's go to the next question now. Yeah, let us look at the question. Draw a schematic diagram of circuit consisting of a battery and the 3 cells of 2 volt each. If there are 3 cells of 2 volt each, then the total voltage applied is 2 into 3, 6 volts. A 5 ohm resistor, a 8 ohm resistor and 12 ohm resistors, and a plug key, all are connected in series. Let me draw the diagram here. Five ohm, 8 ohm, 12 ohm, all these are connected to how many cells? A battery of 3 cells, 2 volts, 2 volts, 2 volts, which is 2 into 3 into 2 volts, which equals 6 volts. A plug key. So what are the resistors? 5 ohm, 8 ohm and 12 ohm. Let it be R1, R2, R3. What else is there? Ammeter. All these are connected in series. This is the diagram for this. What is the second question asked? The diagram we have drawn. In question number 1, putting an ammeter to measure the current through the resistors and a voltmeter to measure the potential difference across the 12 ohm resistors, what would be the readings? If I want to know the current through the resistor R3, definitely as the current remains same over here, I can connect the ammeter in series over here, ammeter plus minus, and if the voltage is to be measured, then the voltmeter should be connected across. the resistor, meaning I have to connect the voltmeter parallel to the resistor, 12 ohm resistor. This is voltmeter. So also the question is, what would be the readings of the ammeter and voltmeter? Let us calculate the readings of this ammeter and voltmeter. Readings of the ammeter, find out the effective resistance. Let R be the equivalent resistance. Let R be the equivalent resistance. So how do you find out the equivalent resistance here? Rs be the equivalent resistance because series combination. R1 plus R2 plus R3, 5 plus 8 plus 12, which equals 25 ohms. What is the current through this one? I equals V by Rs, which is 6 volts divided by Rs is 25. So this is I is equal to 6 by 25 amps. So we have calculated the current through the 12 ohm resistor because it is same for all in fact. It's about 0.24 amps. 0.24 amps. Let me check. Yeah, it's about 0.24 amps. Next, what is the potential difference across this one? So basically in series V1, V2, V3. So V3 equals the current into IR3. Therefore, potential difference across 12 ohm resistor is given by V3 equals I into R3. What is I here? 6 by 25 into R3. It is 12, which equals 0.24 into 12, which is given by okay, 2 places. 2.88 volts is the answer for this. We'll go to the next question. Yeah. I hope you are able to see these letters. See, unfortunately, these letters have been written in a color which is not visible very clearly even in the camera probably. So I request all of you to hold your textbook in front of you while solving these numericals. So judge the equivalent resistance when the following are connected in parallel. Okay, these are connected in parallel. Please listen carefully. The equivalent resistance of the resistors will be smaller than the least resistance in the parallel combination. The equivalent resistance of a series combination is greater than the greatest resistance in series combination, and therefore how can we judge it here? Case 1, A, 1 ohm and 10 to the power 6 ohms. If these are connected in series, the equivalent resistance will be lesser than 1 ohm because this is connected which are connected in parallel, therefore less than 1 ohm. And therefore here second one, 1 ohm and 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power 6, all these are connected in parallel, and therefore it should be less than 1 ohm. Please listen. If the resistors are connected in series combination, the equivalent resistance will be greater than the greatest of the resistor value. Similarly, if the resistors are connected in parallel combination, the effective resistance or the equivalent resistance will be smaller than the least resistance. I hope you are able to understand. Next question. An electric lamp 100 ohms, a toaster 50 ohms and a water filter of 500 ohms are connected in parallel to a 220 volt source. I know 3 resistors which are connected in parallel to a 220 volt source. What is the resistance of an electric iron connected to the same source that takes as much current as all the 3 appliances? So, and what is the current through it? See, that means if I find out the effective resistance or the equivalent resistance of all these 3 in parallel combination, that resistance will be equal to the resistance of an electric iron because it will draw the same current as that of all these 3 in parallel combination. And therefore, the answer for the resistance of an electric iron is equal to parallel combination of resistors, effective resistance of the resistors in parallel combination. Once again, the answer for this is equivalent resistance of the 3 resistors in combination is the resistance of an electric iron which can be connected to the same source voltage. What is the current through that? First find out the equivalent resistance and you can find the current easily. Let's solve this problem. So very quickly, let me check up. Electric lamp 100 ohms. After that one more appliance. After that one more appliance. All these are connected in parallel combination to a 220 volt source. So here bulb is 100 ohms, and then comes the toaster of 50 ohms, and then comes water filter of 500 ohms. 500 ohms. Let me have a naming ceremony. Let this resistance be R1, this is R2, and this is R3. The question is, if all these three are replaced with an electric iron heater, what would be its resistance? It is nothing but equal to the effective resistance of all these three in parallel combination. So if let Rp be the equivalent resistance, therefore 1 by Rp equals 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, which is 500, and therefore this equals, so what will be the LCM over here? It is 500. So 100 here, 5 are 5 10s are 500 1s are, is it right? 15 to 100. So 10 5 plus 10 plus 1, which equals 10 plus 15 plus 16 by 500, implies Rp equals 500 divided by 16. A little bit simplification I can do. 2 8s are, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are, okay, 2 4s are, and 2 12s are, 1 remaining, 2 5s are, 125 by 4. Or also I can work out still 3 31.25 ohms. 31.25 ohms. So therefore the resistance of electric iron that is connected, which can draw the same current as all these three put together, is equal to, resistance equals 31.25 ohms. Next question, what is the current drawn by this one? The current drawn by this is equal to, if this is what should I name this? Rp only, right? Because it is equivalent to the Rp basically. So the current drawn is equal to I equals V by R. V by Rp. V by Rp is how much? Voltage is how much? Voltage is 220 volts. Rp is 31.25. That means it is 500 by 16. So it is 500 by 16. Now it is correct. You can work out now, which will be around 7.04 amps you will get. This will be 7.04 amps. It is correct. How it is correct? Let me check once again. It is correct. Can you go to the next question? Yeah. What are the advantages of connecting electrical devices in parallel with battery instead of connecting them in series combination? So what are the advantages of connecting electrical devices in parallel? Remember, if the devices are connected in parallel, each device will get the equal required source voltage, because source voltage remains same across all the appliances. Also, it will get the desired current. Second advantage is, if one of the appliances is switched off, then rest of the appliances will function normally without getting switched off. That means by switching off one of the appliance, the other appliance can be made to work properly. If in series combination, if one of the appliances is switched off or it is not working, then the rest of the appliances will not work. But in parallel combination, if one of the appliances is switched off, rest of the appliances can work or operate normally. That is the answer. How can the three resistors 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 6 ohms be connected to give a total resistance of 4 ohms, 1 ohms? Just a moment. Here, how can three resistors of resistance 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 6 ohm can be connected to give a total resistance of 4 ohm and 1 ohm? What logic do you use over here? The same thing, like if the resistors are connected in series, the resistance will be higher than the greatest of the resistor. In parallel combination, net resistance is smaller than the least resistance. So let me check here, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm. I want 4 here. So how to connect? If I connect these two in series, it is 5 and 6 ohm. 5 and 6, I should get less than 5. Probably it is possible, we'll have to see that. Or 2 and 3 in parallel. What happens if you connect 2 and 3 in parallel? Or 3 and 6 in parallel possible? Because less than 3 plus 2. Can we just try 3 and 6 will connect in parallel and 2 in series combination. Let's see what happens. Let me draw the diagram over here. So here I am drawing. There are no question numbers for this. A fourth question. Okay, fine. Fourth it is written here. Therefore, we will not. Let me change the pen. Fourth question. 2, 3, 6 volt, 2, 3 and 6 ohms. These are to be connected to get A. 4 ohms I should get it. How to connect now? I am thinking 3 and 6 to be connected in parallel combination. In series with 3, 6 and 2. So 1 by 3, what is the RP over here? 1 over RP equals 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6, which equals 6. 3 2s are 6 1s are 2 plus 1, which equals 3 by 6. Therefore RP equals 6 by 3, which equals 2 ohms. So the net resistance of this is 2 ohms. And 2 ohms plus 2 ohms, this is in series combination. So 4 ohms I get this. So how to connect this one? First 3 ohm, 6 ohm in parallel combination and 2 ohm in series combination. Let's go to the next one now. We should get 1 ohm. Quite simple. If 2, 3 and 6 are to be connected to get 1 ohm, definitely all these 3 must be connected in parallel combination. Then only I can get lesser than 2 ohm. Let's see whether it's correct or not. All the 3 if I connect in parallel combination, then definitely 1 over Rp equals 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6, which equals 2, 3, 1, 6 by 6, which equals 1. And therefore Rp equals 1 ohm. It is correct. Therefore I can connect all these 3 in parallel combination. Okay? Fine. Next one, next question, please have a look at this. Next question is, what is the highest and lowest? What is the highest, lowest resistance that can be secured by combination of 4 coils of resistance? This 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. Highest resistance will be by connecting all these combinations in series combination. Is it right? Okay. So if you work out, you can work out yourself. All these, if these are connected in series combination, we get the highest resistance. How to get the lowest resistance? When I connect all these in parallel combination, I get the lowest resistance, which will be smaller than 4. That is the answer for that. So let's go to the next one. Yeah. Why does the cord of an electric heater not glow while the heating element does? According to Joule's law of heating, more is the resistance, more is the heat produced. Generally for conductors, see, the conductors conduct electricity very well. They do not offer much resistance and therefore conductors do not get heated up. Are you able to understand? So here, why does the cord of an electric heater not glow while the heating element does? The cord of an electric heater is a good conductor which will be made up of copper or aluminium, such as copper or aluminium, and therefore heat will not be produced in good conductors. Whereas the heating element of an electric heater has high resistivity and therefore high resistance, and therefore electrical energy will get converted into heat energy. Therefore conductors do not glow while the heating element glows because of higher resistivity of the heating element, and conductors, the cord is a good conductor, therefore heat is not produced. Compute the heat generated while transferring 96,000 coulombs of charge in 1 hour through potential difference of. So compute the heat generated H, we have to find out 96,000 coulomb. We'll solve this problem. What is given information? Let us see the given information. 96,000 coulomb Q, and in 1 hour, time equals 1 hour, potential difference, voltage 50 volts. What is the question asked? Heat generated. H equals question mark. According to Joule's law of heating, H equals I square R into T. But I have to convert this I square R in terms of V and T. How do you convert it? This can be written as I into IR into T, which equals I into V into T, VIT, which equals I is equal to V by R into V into T, which equals V square into T by R. Do we know all these things? Okay. See here, one more thing, a small modification I will do. VIT, it is basically VIT. See, what about IT? Q. Because I equals Q by T implies Q equals IT, and therefore I am changing IT by Q here. V is given to us, which is 50 volts, and Q is 96,000. 96,000. What should we get heat energy in terms of joules? Okay, is that it? So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which equals 3, 4, 5, 6, 4.8 megajoules. 4.8, or in what will you 4,800 kilojoules, or 4.8 megajoules, 10 to the power 6. 4.8 into 10 power 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 places, 10 to the power plus 6. So 4.8 megajoules is the correct answer. Next. An electric iron of resistance 20 ohm takes a current of 5 amps. Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. We'll solve this problem. You'll get such numericals. Third one is the second one basically. Third one. An electric iron of resistance 20 ohms. So it is electric iron. R equals 20 ohms. Takes a current of 5 amps in 30 seconds. Time is given 30 seconds. What is that we have to find out here? Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. H equals question mark. According to Joule's law of heating, H equals I square, which equals I is 5 square into resistance is 20 ohms into time is 30 seconds. So 25 into 20 into 30. 25 into 2, 50, 500 into 30. 5 3s are 15. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. And therefore, this is joules here, and therefore 15,000 divided by 1,000 kilojoules, which equals 15 kilojoules. Please correct it. We'll go to the next question. What determines the rate at which energy is delivered by a current? Here, what is that determines the rate at which energy is delivered? Rate at which energy is delivered in the sense this energy is dissipated, meaning energy divided by time. Energy divided by time is W by T. W by T is nothing but power. Therefore, power determines the rate at which the energy is delivered by a current. Next, an electric motor takes 5 amps current from a 220 volt source line. Determine the power of the motor and energy consumed in 2 hours. So, shall we solve this one? Such numericals you can expect very well. So, this is the last, but last in text second here. Electric motor, it takes 5 amps current from a 220 volt source. 220 volt source. Determine the power and the power of motor and energy consumed in 2 hours. P equals question mark and energy equals question mark. Time is 2 hours. Okay, fine. Let us solve this one. Power equals V into I. V is 220 volts into 5 amps, which equals 5 zeros are 0, 5 twos are 10, 1, 5 twos are 10 plus 1, 11. So this will be 1100 watts, which is 1.1 kilowatt. Divided by 1000 to get 1.1 kilowatt. We'll check the answer. I'll erase meantime this part. Power is 1.1 kilowatt. Generally, if the powers and all are above 1000 watts, it is preferable to express in terms of kilowatts. Okay, next. What is the question? Energy we have to find out. See here, in 2 hours if it is to be found out, this energy what I am going to find out will be in terms of kWh basically, which is in commercial unit of energy. So W equals power into time, because power equals W by T. So W is expressed in kWh equals power in kilowatt. Power should be in kilowatt into time should be in hours. And therefore, how much is the power here? 1.1 kilowatt. Directly I take. Into time is 2 hours. And therefore, 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 2.2 kWh. This is the energy consumption. 2.2 kWh. And remember, if you want to convert it into joules, you can definitely convert. How do you convert it into joules? You know already the relationship between joules and kWh. See, 1 kWh equals 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. So 2.2 kWh, 3.6 into 2.2 into 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. But this is enough energy. We can definitely convert it in terms of kWh. Unless otherwise specified, I can directly write the energy consumption in terms of kWh also, because power I can calculate watt, convert it to kilowatt, time is given as hours, so definitely I can convert it into 2.2 kilowatt. So this ends the in-text questions. Let us start looking at the exercise numericals now. Have a look at the, please hold the book in front of you, otherwise it is very difficult for you to understand. First question, a piece of wire of resistance R is cut into 5 equal parts. These parts are then connected in parallel combination. If the equivalent resistance of this combination is R dash, then the ratio of R is to R dash is. Very interesting. Believe me, your NCERT textbook examples and numericals, example numericals and the exercise numericals are very much competitive in nature. If you are able to solve all these questions perfectly well, and then probably you are through, then you can refer to other books and solve more questions. So previous year questions and NCERT textbook in text, example numericals and the exercise questions are most important. Let's solve this one now. A piece of wire of resistance R is cut into 5 equal parts. Suppose this is a resistor wire of certain length. If I cut, suppose this the resistance of this be R. If I cut this into half pieces, what is the resistance of each piece? R is directly proportional to the length. If the length is increased by 2 times, the resistance also increases by 2 times. If the length is hard, the resistance hard. Therefore, if L is the length of the wire and the resistance R, then L by 5, 1/5, because 5 parts have been made. So the resistance of each part of the wire will be R by 5 here. So let's try to solve this one. Resistance a piece of wire equals R by 5. Why R by 5? Resistance of a wire is R. Resistance of what he has given, 5 equal parts. I'll do one thing. Resistance of each part of wire, I write. Resistance of each part of wire. This is good. This is better way. Part means you understand here there is a metal wire which has been cut into 5 parts and the resistance of each part is R by 5. Now all these things are connected in parallel combination. R dash is the equivalent resistance. So therefore 1 by R dash equals parallel combination. 1 divided by R by 5 plus 1 divided by R by 5. How many such parts are there? 5 parts which are connected in parallel combination. So plus 1 by R by 5 plus 1 by R by 5 plus 1 by R by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts. Which equals how many times? 5 times into bracket 1 by R by 5. Is it right? Which equals 5 times 5 by R, which equals 25 by R. This is nothing but R dash. This is 1 by R dash. 1 by R dash. The question asked is find the ratio of R is to R dash. R by R dash is the question. Please remember R by R dash. So R goes this side and R dash. So R by R dash equals, this is R by R dash equals 25. Therefore, let us check the answer. Is it D? Option D should be the answer. Let us check this. Let's go to the next question. Second one. Which of the following terms does not represent the electric power in a circuit? Yes, P is equal to I square R, correct. P is equal to IR square, wrong. You can check yourself. P equals VI is correct, V square by is correct, I square R is correct. Whereas IR square, no, it's not available. Therefore, which is incorrect over here? Which of the following term does not represent? B is the answer for this. Next question. An electric bulb is rated 220 volts, 100 watts. So it is based on, the question is based on power rating. The rated power at a rated voltage. When it is operated on 110 volts, the power consumed will be. Dear students, please listen carefully. Such questions cannot be worked out based on unitary method. It is not proportionality that we use over here. And therefore, first you have to calculate the resistance. Based on the power rating, you calculate the resistance. Once you know the resistance, you calculate back once again the power consumed if the voltage is reduced. Isn't it? Let us try to work out this question now. So, what is the question asked? An electric bulb is rated 220 volts and 100 watts. So let us calculate the resistance. Resistance is equal to V square by P. I hope you are able to understand, because P equals V square by R. This formula you must remember, which is equal to 220 into 220 divided by power. Power is 100, 1010. So which equals 22 into 2, 44. 22 into 44 plus 4, 48. 484 ohms. So this is the resistance. Is it the question asked? No. What is the, when it is operated at 110 volts, what will be the power consumption? Now, we know R equals 484 ohms and voltage equals 110 volts and power equals question mark. So power equals V square by R. What is V here? 110 into 110 divided by 484. So let me check here. 11 ones are, 11 tens are 44. 11 10 4 4 ones are 2.5 into 10, which is 25 watts. Do we have that option? Yes. Third, D. Therefore, D 25 watts is the answer for this one. Next. two conducting wires of same material. The meaning of same material means resistivity is same. Please remember, two conducting wires of same material and of equal lengths and equal diameters are first connected in series and then parallel in a circuit across the same potential difference. The ratio of heat produced in series and parallel combination would be. Mark this sum. It is really tough. We'll solve this. I try to make it as simple as possible. See whether you can understand. Please read this question before I solve 2 times. Two conducting wires of same material of equal length and equal diameters are first connected in series and then parallel. So let the resistance of two wires P R ohms. Okay, those are first connected in series and then parallel in a circuit. So across the same potential difference, first those are connected in series across the same potential difference between A and B, same potential difference. So this will be R and this will be R. Question is heat produced in this. First let me find out the heat produced in this. Is there a potential difference given? No. Heat produced in this will be Rs equals R plus R, which equals 2R. Now heat produced is in series combination. I am taking I square R into T. If potential difference is V and the effective resistance is Rs, I must express the entire this I square RT in terms of resistance and potential difference V. Once again, I changes in series and parallel combination. I have to eliminate the I in the formula in order to compare the ratios, because I don't know the currents here, I don't know the values of all these things. See, therefore, in order to eliminate I, let me convert this, express this entire RHS side into R and V. How to do that? I square into RT is given, which can be written as IR into I into T. V I into T. V into V by R into T. V square T by R. This is HS and therefore here it is RS. I hope you are understanding. RS. What is RS here? HS is equal to heat produced in series combination is equal to V square into 2 divided by effective resistance is series combination. So this is the formula here. Now what is RS here? RS is equal to 2R. Let us substitute later, or here itself we can do it. V square T divided by, what is RS here? 2R. So therefore I will write HS equals V square T by 2R. Mark this one. Let us club these together in parallel combination. This is done in parallel combination. This is also R, this is also R, and therefore Rp equals R by 2. If n resistors are connected in parallel combination, you can remember this way also. For example, 1 by Rp equals 1 by R plus 1 by R. What is the LCM? R. Therefore 1 plus 1, 2. And therefore reciprocal, Rp equals R by 2. That is what I have done, R by 2. And therefore Hp equals V square T by Rp. Directly I am using this formula. Why I am not using current in this formula? Current is different in series combination, in parallel combination, and therefore we are expressing the entire heat generated in terms of voltage, time and resistance, which we know the values, and therefore here V square T by Rp. What is Rp is equal to R by 2. R by 2 meaning 2 V square T divided by R. This is Hp here. Mark this as second equation. Now, what is the question asked? HS is to Hp. Therefore, heat divided by HP equals HS is V square T divided by 2R into, while multiplying I will take the reciprocal now, R divided by V square, R divided by 2V square into T. R cancels, V square T cancels, 1 by 4, and therefore final answer, therefore HS, heat generated in series combination to heat generated in parallel combination, equals 1:4. Do we have this option? Yeah, option number C, 1:4 should be your answer. Please check the answer. Yeah. Next one. I hope you are understanding. How is a voltmeter connected in the circuit to measure the potential difference between 2 points in parallel? The voltmeter is connected across parallel connection, or the voltmeter is connected across the points between which the potential difference is to be measured. Next, sixth one. A copper wire has a diameter of 0.5 mm, resistivity of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. What will be the length of this wire to make the resistance 10 ohms? How much does the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? Dear students, when I apply SI units, homogeneity of the units is very important. Whenever I get the diameter in terms of millimeter, you should be able to express that into meters. Let us work out this calculation. It involves a lot of calculation. Let us solve this. Given information, a copper wire, it is basically, let me put a number 6, copper wire. What is the diameter? 0.5 millimeter. 0.25 millimeter is the radius. R equals 0.25 millimeter. 0.5 divided by 2. Radius will be half, which equals 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. These things you should know. Next, resistivity, rho 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. Next, L is the question mark. Length, R equals 10 ohms. This is given to you. R equals 10 ohms is given to you. Fine. The first question we will answer now. L is equal to, we know the formula. What is the formula? R equals rho L by A, and therefore L equals RA by rho, which equals resistance 10, area pi r square 3.14 into r square 0.25 into 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 3 the whole square, which is nothing but minus 6. Minus 3 the whole square, 10 to the power minus 3 the whole square equals 10 to the power minus 6. So I am taking a shortcut here. R square, meaning 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 3 the whole square is nothing but 0.25 into 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 6. The whole divided by what is this? RA by rho here. It is rho. So what is rho here? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus. So L equals 10 into 3.14 into 25 by 100 into 25 by 100 into 10 to the power minus 6 plus 8, this goes up, into 10 divided by 16. It is correct. So what is that I should get here? Meter. Isn't it? Okay, fine. This is the what I should get is meter basically, which equals 10 into 10, 100, 100 into 3.14 is 314. 314 into 25 into 25, 625 into 10 to the power plus 2, correct? The whole divided by 100 into 100 into 16, which equals 314 into 625 into 10 to the power 2. This is 10 to the power 4, goes up minus 4, the whole divided by 16. okay, which equals 314 into 625 into 10 to the power minus 2, the whole divided by 60. Okay, fine. This is in meters. Now it is correct in meters. So I'll solve here. Therefore L equals, let me work out 314 into 625. 314 into 625, 314 into 625 divided by 16, which is 12265, 12265.625 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay. So what is this 10 to the power minus 2? 12265.625, the whole divided by 100, which is 122.65625 meter, which is nothing but 122.66 meter is the correct answer. I hope you are understanding. So this is the first part, 122.66 meter. I am rounding it off. Okay, fine. Second question is very important, please. This calculation, lot of calculation is involved. Therefore, next is, how much does the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? What is the question here? How much is the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? See here, we'll try to analyze this one. Suppose in the beginning, whatever the diameter, the radius, whatever the radius, R equals rho L by A. This is in the beginning, which is nothing but rho L divided by pi R square. Question is, if the diameter is doubled, how much the resistance will change if the diameter is doubled? That means R becomes D equals 2D, or R also equals 2R. So if D dash is equal to 2D, implies R dash is equal to 2R, because if the diameter is doubled, the radius also will get doubled. Therefore, R dash equals rho L by A, which is pi R square is nothing but 2R the whole square, which equals rho L divided by 2 square is 1/4, 1 by 4 rho L by pi R square. So R dash is equal to 1/4 rho L by pi R square. Therefore R dash equals 1/4. What is rho L by pi R square? Here it is given. Rho L by pi R square is nothing but R here. Therefore R. Meaning the new resistance will be 1/4 the original resistance. I hope you are understanding this one. Okay. Please note it down. Dear students, I would like to solve all the questions and take up some exemplar numericals also. So this lecture is already, I think, about 1.5 hours now. So I'll end the session now, and part B of the same lecture will continue for solving the numericals from the exercise of this chapter. Okay. So for the time being, let me end the session and we will continue in the next session. Please wait for the next lecture. Thank you.